everyone, and welcome to this week's episode, the premiere episode of Downside Up. Now, you'll have to excuse me if I'm a bit befuddled. This music is messing with my head. I'm struggling so hard. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit now. Now that we're live. Hi, everyone. This is the Scratticus Academy. Before we go around and say hello to everyone, please take a moment to check out all of the following things, starting with our social links. Check out our Discord, Twitter, and YouTube. Discord, come and be a part of the family. We're a safe community that will help you learn about TTRPGs. Twitter, send me a DM and we'll get you a game. And YouTube, you can come and catch up on all the other shows from all the other seasons, and this show if you have to step away at any point. Also, check out our sponsors. This show is brought to you by Mageham Press. Mageham Press wrote the Feywild, and I'm playing a completely custom class for the season as well, which I'm very hype about. Oh, and Mageham Press recently signed with Diamond Comics Publishing, so you can now get your books in your local game shop. Head down there and ask them to stock Dark Matter, and they should be able to do that if they use Diamond. Also, check out the Deck of Many. The Deck of Many is available in our donation rewards today, so feel free to donate for those. They're also a part of the Hype Train rewards. Would we inflict the Deck of Many on new players and things? Yes. Also, check out Hero Forge, where you can get all of your miniature needs. They recently had something like a 6,000% funded Kickstarter for colored minis, and there will be more akin to that coming to the channel very soon. In fact, in the space before this game, there will be a thing happening there. Before we go on, also, please check out our content warning for the show. It includes all of the themes that you might stumble across here today. I think that's everything. Let's go around and say hello to everyone. Mackenzie, would you like me to start with you or end with you?
It's up to you.
Let's start with you. Mackenzie,
Okay.
How are you doing?
Oh, hi. I am so excited. Okay. Hi, I'm Mackenzie DeArmas, Mackenzie Lane Day on Twitter. I am an independent TTRPG content creator and resident Academy Warlock. So you can check out my work over on D&D Beyond. My article for the Encounters of the Week for Wildmount just went up Monday, so that's exciting. There's crabs, and there's a teeny reference to Alice over there, so that's exciting. You can also check out my work on DM's Guild. My supplement Numomancy, which is an arcane tradition for the wizard, is like 6 away from hitting bestseller, which is super exciting. But most importantly, I will be serving as your Dungeon Master for today. So let's go around and meet everyone. Let's go to we normally will have the lovely Nomadic joining us, but today he can't make it. So send him all your well wishes. He's awesome. And then let's go down to Indestructiboy. Oh hi. Just say a little bit who you are and who you're playing.
Yeah, hey, I'm Terrence Pounds. I go by Indestructiboy on YouTube, on Twitter. I write a lot of content for the DM's Guild, as well as just make YouTube content for D&D 5e. Kind of a focus on reviewing a lot of the stuff on the DM's Guild. I bring in some of the homebrew class designers or whatever, really, and do a one-on-one interview with them about their class. And today I'm going to be playing Fife, the Satyr Paladin, using basically all Mageham Press stuff. So yeah.
Hell yeah. And then let's go around to Magical Rice Ball. Oh hi.
Hello. My name is Jacob. I go by Magical Rice Ball here on Twitch and Twitter and a few other places you can find me around. I am a father of 3, work full time, and nerd on the side. I play a lot of D&D, DM for my kids when I can, and that's basically it. I'm just here to have a good time. I'm playing Zotshim. He is an Eladrin divine soul sorcerer who's become lost in the Feywild.
And last but certainly not least, Scratticus, who are you playing?
Oh, hi! I'm going to be playing Frida Florag, or Friday for short. a perfectly normal half-orc barbarian, lawful neutral, angry guardsman type, also lost in the Feywild for some time.
Yeah, totally normal.
Totally normal.
Yep.
Yep, that's what the
Yep.
custom class was. They just built me a totally normal...
It's the most bland thing I've ever built.
I know it may seem, anticlimactic.
Level 1 commoner.
Scrat's actually just a level 0 character.
You're right.
All right.
I mean,
Is there anything
sounds
else?
like a challenge.
Oh my God, Scrat, no.
I don't know. I don't think we've got anything else. I mean, we've
Anything
talked
else?
about all of the things. So yeah, let's go. Let's kick this thing off.
Okay.
Killer.
So, with that, let's begin. Or I guess well, begin is probably the closest approximation to it. Because you see, by saying there's a beginning, there implies that there at some point you'll inevitably reach an end. And while that may work for mortals on the material plane, I have it on pretty good authority that the Archfey don't like such binary distinctions. Mortals like things in pairs. Good and bad, law and chaos, time and space. But for the Fey, those are just arbitrary restrictions. In the Feywild, down can become up with the flick of a wrist, and you can wander lost for ages and never ever get found. And that's where we begin this little game of ours. Very hopelessly lost. Zote, if you are familiar with how the Feywild works, you are familiar with the way that this twilight mist can swirl around you and these spider-like cracks that splinter through this plane. You can step into one without even knowing and blink, and suddenly you're completely different. You are completely different. The place around you is completely different, and that is where we start. You have that feeling of something sort of tugging you forward, and that feeling of the ground suddenly falling from beneath your feet before rising back up to meet it. And as you blink and adjust your eyes, you are not where you started. You are in ruins of sorts. Overgrown and dark. There is partially a ceiling there, and you can see stone walls around you and can feel this musty, stale air kind of flood your lungs. And as you blink and adjust to the filtering light, you can see that there are desks and shelves, and it looks like a workshop of sorts. Why don't we start by describing what your characters look like? If Zote or Five, who wants to go first, it's up to you. I'm not going to put anyone on the spot.
After you.
Okay. Zote is a summer Eladrin. He has golden, short hair, mostly a reddish brown skin. He's very finely dressed, but not too fine. It's properly dressed, and he has a kind of a honey orange eyes, kind of like if you were shining light through a jar of honey.
Mm-hmm. And what does Fife look like?
Probably Fife's a little bit more goat-like, I would say, than man. The eyes definitely have the more infinity shaped pupil. Sort of long, about 2 feet long horns, and chestnut brown hair. Well, I guess fur that covers his whole body. Currently wearing just sort of silver and green chainmail. Yeah, pretty bulky looking dude. Yeah, not your typical satyr look, I guess you could say.
And I assume both of you have. We talked a little bit about before the game started, right? Or in our little group chat, but both of you have spent a little bit of time in the Feywild, correct? Up to this point, this isn't your first excursion.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of assumed satyr pretty familiar with, if it wasn't home. Yeah.
Yeah. So this experience for you, this feeling of sudden displacement, it's kind of almost like a bump in the road. It's like when you hit a speed bump a little too fast. It's just like, oh, well, now we're here now. And as you blink around, you can sort of see like that perpetual sort of pinkish purple sky of the twilight Feywild above you, sort of half covered by this crumbling roof. And as you blink and you sort of let your eyes adjust to this pale blue light coming from these magical sconces around the wall, you can see you're kind of in a workshop. It's a little strange. It almost looks like a toy maker's shop. There are chests and shelves with like these mechanical looking creatures. There are some sort of dolls sort of limply sitting on some of the shelves. And you can see as you kind of look down this hallway of this room, or along this room, as you can see more shelves kind of going along. What would you like to do?
I was just curious, have we established that me and Zote knew each other?
That's up to you. That's up to you all.
Okay.
You can either be completely strangers and be like, oh, hi, or you can be like,
Right.
you can be buds. It's up to you. It's whatever you feel.
So we're in the same room together. Looking around, you say that we see some dolls?
Yes.
Well, first off, do you know where we are?
Zote blinks. He's never in the life of me have I been here.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
He says, but as the Feywilds usually present, I will prepare for anything. He casts mage armor on himself.
I'm gonna use my divine sense. Am I getting a feeling like this is the presence? First time playing Paladin too, so in your turn, you know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of you that is not behind total cover. I'm mostly focused on the dolls right now.
Okay. So it's undead, fiends, celestials, and then what is it? Hallowed ground or something?
If you know of a place or object that has been consecrated or desecrated.
Okay. You ping your divine sense and you sort of activate that. As you sort of look around, you get this sort of gnawing feeling in your stomach. This is desecrated ground.
Something
If you
here.
focus a little bit harder and when you're focusing specifically on the dolls, you don't necessarily see that strong presence of undead energy necessarily.
Okay.
But you do notice almost as if roots kind of shooting up and like kind of trapping something from like deeper within the ground, sort of like if you see the base layer of magic, that's this desecrated area, and you can see you can see clearly one sort of tendril kind of looped up, shot up and looped around a doll in the corner. Yeah.
Okay. There's something here that stinks. That specific doll. Okay. There's something unholy here about that thing. I'm just gonna kind of go over and I've got a staff in my inventory. I'm just gonna kind of hold out the staff and sort of how do I say, push things out of the way of like a direct line of sight of this doll. Yeah. I don't know. What do you think?
I think we're in for some fun. You say something's foul about this doll.
There's something very unnatural about it. I'm going to cast protection from evil and good. Targeting. Let me make sure that's doing what I think it is.
What does it do?
Protect against creatures, aberration, celestials, elemental, fey, fiends, and undead. Protection grants several benefits. Creatures of those types have disadvantage on attack rolls against the target. The target also can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them. The target is already charmed, frightened, or possessed. I'm gonna go ahead and cast it on myself.
Okay.
And just kind of go up and I guess just attempt to pick up the doll.
Oh, the doll is life sized. Scrat, what does Friday look like? Scrat, you're muted.
Yeah,
I am very muted. Oh, hang a minute. Wait, am I a doll? What?
No, you are normal. You just, it's like as you approach, it's almost as if what looks like a doll, just sort of that image just sort of simmers away, and in front of you is a very real, very alive half-orc. Friday, what do you look like?
Tall. 6'2". Long black dreads hang down my back. I've got an angular face only possible with a half-orc's bone structure. Sort of pale grey skin. And what looks like old guardsman / noble attire, but probably not from anywhere you recognize unless you happen to come from Ravnica. Yeah, she's sort of as shocked to see you as you are to see her, I imagine.
You are not originally from the Feywild. Last you remember, you were taking a nap at home, man. So you just sort of blarily wake up, and it's like that feeling you get when you worked out for the first time in months, and it's just like every muscle in your joint hurts.
Sore.
There's
yeah.
like you can look. There's like dust covering you, and at your joints, your elbows, and your wrists. There's like it's somewhere in between spider web and puppet string, just sort of looped around all of your muscles, sort of hanging from the ceiling.
To be clear, you say I was asleep. Have I woken up with all
Yes.
my weapons on me? Because they're not the
Yes,
kind
you
can
have.
sleep. Oh, good. Okay, cool. Halberds, javelins, spears, long things.
I immediately like pull my hands back. Like I'm excuse me, I did not mean any offense. Do you have any ideas where we are?
Who are you?
My name is Fife. And this is Zot. We just woken up here. I don't know. One thing, I was walking through the woods, and then I just appeared in this. I don't know what.
It seems the wilds just want us here.
I just took a nap. This isn't my house.
It's not.
How did I end up here?
Probably the same way we all wind up in the Feywild.
The
By
Fey what, sorry?
accident.
The Feywild. What is your name?
Friday Florag. My friends call me Friday. Are you my friends? Are you friends?
I could be your friend.
Certainly,
So-
we could be. What are you? So you have no idea how you got here either? You're just.
I've never heard of the Feywild.
Oh, you've been missing out. If you've ever taken, it's like walking down the most beautiful path on the most gorgeous sunny day, but every smell is just heightened and intensified, and the feeling of the sun touching your skin is like just a passionate kiss. It's a beautiful place.
Friday, you
You
look
have no
around
idea.
after this description, and you see ruined buildings, the scent of dust just flooding your nose.
Which we are clearly
there's
not in
something-
right now.
There's something sticky around your joints. There's like a completely like twilight sky kind of above you through the cracks in the roof. It's it's definitely disconcerting.
Welcome to the Feywild.
All right, well, how do I get out? I've got an important meeting with the Senate tomorrow.
Senate, does that... Am I familiar with any form of government that goes by the Senate?
Well, you are familiar with lots of forms of government because it's the Feywild. So do you know
Okay.
what the concept of a Senate is? You may not know which Senate Friday is referring to, but you know what a Senate is.
Probably... Just asking, are you sure you don't mean like the court?
No, I mean the Senate, the Azoria Senate.
The Azoria?
Come here. And Zote pulls out a water skin. Have some water. Have a seat. Try to clear your brain.
Thank you. And Friday will sit and drink. And I will thank Stalwart Initiative for coming in with that raid. Welcome in. And thank you, Jenna, for that subscription also.
So that the tendril or the essentially the desecrated essence that you said that I was sensing earlier.
Yep.
Was that a vibe I was getting directly from Friday?
As you were talking with Friday, you kind of were keeping an eye on that. You can see it's like it was like a hand that was holding Friday. And as Friday sort of gets up and moves, you can see that hand is sort of like, it lets go a little bit and sort of sinks back down. But there is a small tendril of that sort of dark magic still wrapped around Friday's heart.
Were you feeling like compelled to come here, or like, what is your last memory?
Well, I was getting an early night because, day at the courts, as it were. I did feel strangely, I don't know. I wouldn't say compelled, but I had strong feelings about sleeping. I like to keep to a schedule, get proper sleep every night. Exercise.
They do say that dreams are one way into the Feywild. But
Friday, can you make me a perception check?
Of course. No, I cannot.
Wow, what a way to start!
Well, that's how this campaign's going.
Well, this is a lot.
yeah.
So Fife, you also make me perception checks. Let's just do this all around. Someone please roll higher than a 6.
That's gonna be a.
Well, my dice are treating me well. Natural 1.
Oh God!
I mean, I got a 16.
Okay.
All right. Will that work?
Okay. All right. So, Friday? Yeah, you're not paying attention to anything. This is a bunch of this is like it's hard to see anything with like the way the light is sort of playing in the room. These magical sconces have this sort of pale bluish light that it's not as bright as firelight, so it's really hard to take notice of things. And especially for you, Friday, it's really hard to get your bearings again. And you're still double checking and trying to remember, like, these are the clothes you fell asleep in, and you have your weapons on you, but you don't remember getting dressed, and you're still trying to piece that together. Fife, though, you do notice, and this kind of makes sense for you, as, Friday sort of sets up and sort of walks away, you notice a couple of things with the 16. You notice that when the hand that you saw, that hand of desecrated energy, sort of half lets go of Friday, you can see where it links, and there's something attached to Friday's wrist. There is also, you can sort of watch that desecrated energy, that layer beneath you. You can sort of see it almost like rumble and swell like waves, sort of heading in your direction. And as you look around and your eyes adjust, you can see, you can hear sort of further down this hallway of sorts, a sort of
like clockwork.
Like clockwork.
Okay. Well, I have a feeling we're going to get some of the answers further on down, but do you know anything about what might have on some sort of a hold on you, Friday? What's that bracelet there on your wrist?
Is this my bracelet? I missed that completely.
It's a watch. It's not, it looks very different than, like, your armor and stuff is very, very, like, crisp, and it's pristine, and it's matching. It's very much a guard's uniform. This watch does not match any of it. It's like, it looks like almost like black iron with a stained glass face. And the stained glass face itself, though, is dull and a little bit cracked in places.
Strange. I don't recall owning this. It's cracked. It looks like someone's been wearing this in a factory or something. The watch I used to wear in the factory.
One day I will say a prop that you will not have it on hand. One day.
Perhaps that's what brought you here.
How closely do you look at the watch, Friday?
I'll take it off. Look at the back. Oh. Okay, I'll try and pry it away from my wrist enough to see if there's anything behind it.
As you try and pry it, it's like tendrils of this black energy to sort of snap it back. Like sort of like under your skin, sort of, it's stuck there.
All right. Which of you is a magic user?
Both, I think. I want to say.
Are you responsible for this?
Responsible for what?
Assaulting an officer. It's serious crime, you know.
I would never do such a thing. Honestly, I'm just quite curious as to how I can help you out with this situation. You clearly got something that's bound to your heart.
Yeah, I'm not guilty of assault today.
Eyes narrow.
I did no such murder today.
Right. Did I get any sort of a sense as to what the say like maybe the origin of these like tendrily hands were? Like maybe creature what? I don't know. Divine Sense tells me that.
Roll me.
I do know the type.
Arcana or history, if you want to. Arcana or history, it will. Which one you roll will determine what kind of information I give you.
Okay. Well, they're both 0, so let's go Arcana. Why not?
Woohoo!
That's an 8.
Okay. Well, I mean, here's the magic in the Feywild is very weird. And you know that for certain, but you do know that it tends to move on a sliding scale between what's called the land of summer, which is what most people think of when they think of the Feywild, that sort of wild, vibrant, raucous party under the eternal twilight. You do know, however, that as you kind of reach the boundaries of the plane, things start to shift towards the land of shadow, also known as the Fey Dark. And this magic feels very similar to that. And that magic that has sort of linked around Friday, and it seems to have essentially pulled Friday here, is very much linked to the Fey Dark.
So we need to be very careful in here. There's something more shadowy about this place, and I'm not quite sure that we just need to find an exit as soon as possible.
As you sort of say that, you can see, as your divine sense is still going, there's another wave in that energy sort of beneath you, and all of you can see the lights on these magical sconces. They sort of flicker off and then back on, like a ripple effect.
So the torches literally all go out and then flip, like...
Yeah, they all kind of like go out one by one by one by one by one, and then come back on one by one by one by one by one. And you can hear in the distance that tick-tock.
Like someone's playing a video.
Zoe says, I've done that trick before. the lights. It's like, someone's just trying to scare us, I think.
Still, better safe than sorry. I'm going to draw my 8-foot halberd.
Yeah, I'll already have my sword, my long sword and my shield, like, ready to go. Um,
As you sort of look, it looks like a little bit of a room, essentially. Like the corner where you found Friday, this looks like a bit of a workshop, and this is the corner of a workshop. You can see the sconces sort of lead down a hallway, and there's like gaps in the wall around you in this room, and if you wanted to, you could look outside. There doesn't necessarily, upon first glance, there doesn't seem to be a lot out there, but I mean, it's an option if you wanted to go through the wall or down the hall, or if you wanted to look around the room more. Lots of things.
so something's either trying to tell us to get out by scaring us, or something's trying to get us to move forward. I'm okay with either option at this point. The ticking, is it coming from where like the sconces were sort of like relighting and going down the hallway, I guess?
Yep.
He said there's like an open ceiling, like it might be broken in ruins.
Yeah, it's like, if you, it's like this room is made of stone, and there are windows, and there are vines, and this sort of bioluminescent like flora sort of creeping and curling around these ruins. The ceiling itself seems to be made of stone, but parts of it have been caved in. You can see rubble sort of on certain, like on the ground in this workshop, and you can see definitely cracks, and you can see the twilight sort of drifting in.
You said workshop. What kind of tools are in here?
As everyone sort of looks around, and as now all of you are sort of getting used to sort of the dim light in this area, it's very much, it's a toy workshop. So you can see dolls of normal size. And
it would be a shame if something was to upset that dull scenery, right, Mackenzie? Nerdily just rolled a 25.
I see, rolled a 25. Okay, I will look that up.
Arcana table.
I will look that up. So there is, as you look around, there's just like, there are dolls. You can see little clockwork toys. I feel like little's the wrong word. You can see clockwork toys. Some of them are small, and then they sort of grow bigger in size. All of them look like animals of different shapes. There is a bird sort of perched on this table that's covered in dust, and you can see like these limp skeletons of like lions and wolves, sort of this mishmash of metal and wood, sort of forming these skeletons of animals, but they don't have any light behind their eyes. They're not alive. And that's mostly what you see, sort of similar things, little toys and a lot of clockwork creatures.
Mostly like in progress, like somebody just...
Yeah. Most of them are in progress. It would be like the most complete looking toys in this room are the bird that's on the desk and Friday.
Zote will inspect the bird. It seems to be complete.
Okay, hold on. One moment. Okay. I need to roll a d3. Let's see. Scrat, do you want to be 1 or 3?
Number 1.
Okay. 1, and then that makes...
Why does number 1 sound better than 1? I
don't know.
Rough psychology there.
Friday is 1, Zote is 2, and Fife is 3. Cool. Okay. So who's inspecting the burb?
Zote.
Okay. What are Friday and Fife doing before we get to what Zote sees?
I was going to go look out. You said there was a window. I was looking at the tools, and then I was going to go check out this window. Just kind of looking out and...
All right.
Yeah.
So Zote is looking at the bird. Fife is looking at the window. Friday, what are you doing?
I'm on my guard. I'm looking for, perhaps... I've been on crime scenes before. There's bound to be something that everyone else is missing.
Okay. Would you like to make a... So we'll start with you. Would you like to make a perception or investigation check?
I would love to make an investigation check.
I'm assuming you're better at that?
It is my speciality.
Okay. Okay. So on a 14, as you're sort of looking around, this place looks like it's been abandoned for a very long time. You'll notice, with that roll, you'll notice what everyone else sees. So you can sort of, as you're like sort of inspecting the area, trying to look for clues, you can see like the dust covering it, and there's rubble. It looks like some sort of conflict or series of conflicts has happened. As you look, you can see dark markings on the floor that look like either scorch marks or something. The rubble itself, the way it's broken, looks definitely less like age and natural erosion and more like something has hit it. As you kind of pass by and you're looking through the window, both you and Fife sort of look out, and you're immediately hit with this sort of cool wash of air, and you can look out and look down, and it's just like it's a blanket of this pale iridescent fog. And you can look out and sort of, if you stick your head out further and you look around, you can see that you are in a tower or a taller building made of stone. You can look down and see the stories below you sort of cascading down into this mist, and you look to the side, you can see shadows of higher towers sort of going off in towards your right from this window, like sort of other towers sort of half obscured. If you look up, there is no sun in the sky, there is no moon in the sky. It is this perpetual pinkish purple with glittering starlight. And as you sort of follow that and you kind of look around to Zote, as you pick up this bird, it's like the size of a crow. It's like yay big, like a football, or like an American football. This sort of like rusted ironwork mixed with wood. So you can see like how it's like woven together almost seamlessly. On its chest, there is a symbol of it's like half a sun on this side and then half a moon on this side. Depending on which way you turn, it's like the sun is rising and the moon is setting, or the moon is rising and the sun is setting. But it's like that in the middle of its chest. And as you look at it, it tilts its head.
I tilt my head as well. Do I recognize the symbol, or can I roll to recognize it? History. Okay. +0. Let's go. That's a 7.
Well,
Okay.
It looks familiar. You just can't. You had definitely seen the symbol before. It you know it means something. You've seen it maybe in association with a lot of the other courts, but you can't really place what or why or where it belongs to. But you know it means something. And as this bird sort of, you pick it up and this bird sort of looks at you, and then it just sort of tilts its head again. And you can see where the light in its eyes, which were previously blank, you can see there's just this of like gold energy as it just sort of, and it just looks at you.
Zode's intrigued. He likes this bird. Is there any like clockwork, like keys or twists or things on it?
There is a strange-looking key right next to this bird. It
Okay.
looks like I don't have the reference near me. It's like it's a key that looks like it's the same metal, like that mix of metal and ironwork. The barrel is just sort of like that woodwork and metal entwined. The handle, the handle part looks like a dodecahedron almost, but like one of those flattened diagrams where you take a cube and then you flatten it and then you look at it like that. It's like that, but a dodecahedron. It's all those interlocked pentagons. Okay. And then at the very where the key part is, with the teeth of the key, it's the number 12.
So the key says number 12. Is there a similar like keyhole on the bird?
Yeah, right at the base of its neck.
Okay. Zote will fearlessly and take this key and put it into the bird. And she says, "Okay, friend, show me everything." Hello.
You are new.
So
What
are
is
you?
that thing?
What did you just do?
I turned it on.
You are new. You are new. You are new.
Okay. Less syllables. Who are you?
I am 12.
12. I'm happy to meet you, 12. Where are we?
You could just see, like, it's like trying to say something, but then it like sort of, and then you can see the key in the back just sort of stops winding.
Okay.
Do the thing again, yeah.
Do we really want to do that?
I want to do that. he just winds it up again.
You are in timepiece.
Timepiece. What is timepiece?
People who are native to the Fey, or people who've spent a while in the Feywild. So basically, everyone but Friday. Roll me history.
Oh.
Okay.
Friday, you can roll
Oh.
history if you'd like.
That is that's a 17 for me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna roll off all night. That's a 2.
Okay, this sort of makes sense in line with everything that with Fife has noticed previously.
Apparently.
On a 2, timepiece doesn't ring a bell, but Fife, that is a name you have not heard in a very, 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 very long time, and that's saying something because time is weird in the Feywild.
Right.
It was once upon a time the castle at the center of the Feywild. Once upon a time. But it has since very much distanced itself from memory, and no one really talks about it anymore. And no one's really sure what happened to it. But somehow you've ended up there.
If what this thing says is true, we're in a place very, very old.
This is not a good place to be.
Where is timepiece right now?
Time is broken. Time is broken. Fix time, please fix time.
I look to Friday. Is that have to do anything with the watch?
I mean, it's literally a timepiece.
You see 12 sort of this bird, this crow-like head just sort of turn, and then like look at the watch, and then
Okay, why is that
bad, new plate, new toy, bad, no, bad, run.
Bad new
run.
toy. Bad.
Okay.
Bad. You are not from here.
I'm like stepping back, looking at Friday right now, just like, what? Oh, okay. So what does this thing mean?
I don't know. Can I tap the timepiece?
You tap it, and there is a resounding boom from somewhere in the distance, and then you see this bird go, uh-oh, she is coming, you should run, and you can feel the ground shake and start to fall.
The floor we're on is falling.
It's starting to crumble.
Let's go, bird. 12. Show us the way out, can you?
Hold on, let me find. Follow me. Run.
I gave it a good wind before I let it go, though.
It just sort of moves really fast, like a motor, and it just sort of, you can see this bird just sort of tear off with this shower of sparks, sort of down the hallway, and again, you can feel that ground sort of shake. I don't know if your divine sense is still active, but if it is, you can see that desecrated look of layer under the ground just sort of swell a little, in tune with the shakes, almost rhythmically, like a heartbeat, just sort of doof, doof, doof. And you can see the ground start to rumble, and you can start seeing these cracks start to form in the ground.
Okay. I'm inclined to agree with the bird. I think it's time we go. And I'm just gonna start following after 12.
Okay.
Zote was already gone.
Friday, what are you doing?
What? I'll follow.
Yeah.
Every time you can hear the sort of boom, boom in the distance, and every time it goes, it feels like that watch on your wrist is almost like humming in time with it. That this vibration just sort of shooting up your forearm with every beat. It goes.
Is it like stuck to my wrist, or like can I slide it up and down?
You can slide it up and down. You
Great.
can move it, but
Yeah, okay. So I just tapped on it a second ago, right? And then we heard a loud bong sound.
Yes.
So now I'm going to take it and I just want to shake it left and right really quickly.
Okay. Roll me a sleight of hand.
I have no hand.
Okay. You shake it, and you can hear this sort of like clicking of gears, and it's coming from your watch, but it's also coming from all around you, like within the walls itself. And as you sort of shake it, you can feel the ground itself sort of just. And I need everyone to make me dexterity saving throws. I just punched my mic.
Okay.
Oh, I did not optimize for dex.
Yeah,
No,
neither.
you have terrible dex.
Yeah.
All right.
Modified 20 for me.
Okay.
That's a 6 for me.
Okay. The ground sort of like rumbles, and then all of a sudden you can feel like you just suddenly, the ground itself as it shakes, it's almost as if this hallway kind of drops down like a floor. Both Friday and Zote are able to catch themselves. Fife, however, it catches you off guard, and your satyr hooves just sort of slip as you kind of fall. And you take. Would you like to roll the damage, or should I?
Oh, you go for it.
Could I attempt to grab him?
Grab him to prevent him from taking damage, or how do you want to catch him? Because you landed a floor down standing up, so you want to like catch him as he falls?
Oh, okay. I thought he was falling and we weren't. I misunderstood.
No, you all fell, but you were able to
Okay.
catch yourselves.
Okay.
Oh, this is just me. Okay, gotcha. Okay.
You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as you kind of land on your poor goat butt.
It's gonna be like, oh God.
The humanity.
The
I
goat
think-
manatee.
Did I see? I've got a passive perception of 11. I don't know if this would help. Did I see Friday shake the little thing, and then I'm basically trying to connect the dots there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say with Friday's sleight of hand of 9, and your passive perception of 11, you did notice Friday tinker with the watch, and then hell start to break loose around you.
Okay. Look, this is just a theory, but that thing on your wrist, I think it's maybe a simulacrum, or maybe that's what we're actually in right now.
A what?
A duplicate, or a model.
As if timepiece is in that timepiece.
Timepiece.
Huh.
Be delicate with it.
I'm sorry. Where did you say you were from?
Ravnica. It's quite a
I-
magical place, floating city.
You'll have to tell me more once we're out of here. But I'm sorry. So can you refresh my memory? Have you ever heard of Ravnica?
I don't believe Zote would have, so I have no knowledge of Ravnica.
Okay.
You can see 12 sort of swoop in and then land on a window. The room is still sort of shaking, almost like it's like a very faint earthquake, just a bit like a very low magnitude earthquake, just sort of like that. And then you can see 12 sort of perch on one of these windows as you say Ravnica, and then just sort of look at Friday and go, "You want to go home?
Yes, I have a meeting with the Senate.
You want to go home? You want to go? You want to go home?"
Yes.
You will need to fix clock, fix time, go home.
Fix time, go home. Easy.
Fix time.
I'm going to pull out the little knob on the side of the watch. Is there one?
Oh god.
Yeah, there is.
I'd like to wind it backwards and forwards
Okay.
to the right time.
Oh.
What time do you wind it to?
There's no sun, no moon. Well,
Mhm.
I always sleep for about 8 hours, so it must be about 6 a.m. I wind it to 6 a.m.
Okay. You wind it to 6 a.m. Everyone make me wisdom saving throws.
Right.
That's a 14 for me.
I love how much this character represents everything that I never do.
16 for me.
Thanks, okay. So you wind it. Are you winding it forward or are you winding it backwards to meet 6 a.m.? It's like at right when you look at it, it's at like 9:23.
Oh, back. I'm not gonna go
Go
all
back?
the way around. No.
Okay. As you suddenly start winding it, sorry, not Friday. 12 lets out this sort of mechanical and then like sort of almost like flies backwards, and it's like you all feel like yourself getting pulled backwards. Not towards where you had been coming from though. It feels like it's like you're being pulled backwards, but the world itself is moving at a different rate. And you feel yourself almost like you can see suddenly the floor itself shimmer, and you feel like you shoot back upwards onto a different level. And suddenly again, it's that feeling of the ground falling out beneath you and catching you, that feeling that had greeted you when you had first entered these ruins. And you sort of stumble into, you find yourself sitting in under something? You're still sort of inside, but this area looks a little bit more intact than you were, as though the winding had sort of pulled you through into the space. You can see above you there are bunches of gears, and when the next sort of boom sound hits, it comes from right above you, and you can see this giant bell just sort of vibrate out.
So we're in a completely different room than what we were just in, right?
Yeah, with the winding, you've sort of moved.
Okay.
But like physically move just in space rather than time.
Both. You move both.
Both. My God, he's a time lord.
Space and time have very interesting meanings in the Feywild.
Are there windows in this room that we're in right now?
There is one very, very large window, if you can call it that. It is circular, and it is made of stained glass that is cracked. And you can see the shadow of two hands, one pointing straight at noon, or at 12, and one pointing at 6.
I think this confirms our theory.
Right, well, there's cogs and things here. Do any of you happen to know anything about mending watches?
What's a watch?
I have never needed a watch. Sorry.
I trust the sun and the moon.
There is no sun or moon in the Feywild.
Oh.
It's perpetual twilight.
I was like, I rolled up Oath of the Never Setting Stars. So I was like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna go with like an astral theme here. Okay.
No, yeah,
well,
literally the stars never set. It's just twilight all the time.
the constellations and the rotations of the constellations. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Time and space are very, very weird in the Feywild.
I was going with the shtick there. But
Oh, I'm sorry.
no,
I ruined
you're
your
fine.
shtick. I didn't mean
You are
to.
fine. You are totally good. No, okay.
You can see though, it's like as you're looking at this clock, you can see the gears themselves are like there are pieces missing. They're not entirely connecting. There are massive chunks just like out of it. And then if you look at the clock face itself from behind, it looks like every single number has just been gouged out.
Well, this seems obvious. We just fix this and we can go home.
We fix time. It sounds. Yeah, I completely agree.
Surely we could figure it out together. So like, what seems to be like the majority of the damage? Like, is something like falling apart, or is it just everything's disarrayed?
Everything is kind of falling apart. With every sort of this bell is dinging, and every sort of bell, the entire tower just sort of shakes, and you could feel it's almost as if it's like you just sort of drop. You could feel that stomach sort of rise in your stomach rise in your gut as you sort of just plummet a little every time this bell sort of rings off. And you can see the clock hands itself on the other side of this glass. They're trying so hard to meet or something, but it's like it's this creaking and grinding of gears.
I should have taken mending.
I should have rolled up an artificer.
Yeah.
I mean, how hard can it be? We'll just start at the beginning and see it through until the end.
Is there a certain, like, you said that the hands themselves seem to be stuck. Looking at it, is there, like, I'm assuming that there's like a sort of shaft that is, I don't know how to build watches. I don't really know what I'm thinking here.
Neither do I, yo. I'm making this up as we go. Yeah, there's cogs.
Cool.
Yeah, there's hands. Sure.
All right,
It's a fey clock. I don't know. It doesn't have to obey logic.
I'm essentially just
Mackenzie-
trying to trace like that mechanism from the hands to like try and diagnose the problem, like see what might be hanging it up.
Scrat, you look like you were gonna say something.
Yeah.
Have you set me an engineering problem?
If
No,
they
no.
Wild had engineers, maybe, but you know.
She wouldn't know anything about engineering anyway, so I'll leave my greasy governor jokes where they belong.
Cool. You can sort of roll me investigation. If anyone is looking at sort of the mechanisms and you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on with this clock tower, this would be investigation.
Okay. I don't know why I'm the one trying to make all the intelligence checks here. I did not invest into it at all.
I'm sorcerer. Charisma is my stick.
That's a 10 for me.
There is not one source of a problem. Everything is broken. It's all
Okay.
kind of broken and bad. You can see sort of 12 just sort of like flying in through one of the cracks in the windows and just sort of like flapping. Fix.
Zote will just go up to the clock face where the hands are and look for whatever the logical piece would be there to turn the hands. Like, let's try to find.
I would say you
something
could
there.
probably just take a hand and try and push it.
Okay, I'll do that. See what happens.
Okay, roll me a strength. Yeah, this would be strength, or if you have athletics, you can use athletics. You can also just do strength.
I have a -2 in in strength.
Okay. Does anyone want to help you push the
If you,
hands?
yeah, if you
Maybe
need
the
Anyone wants some
maybe
help?
the paladin can do it.
Or the
or
barbarian?
the barbarian. Yeah.
Or literally anyone.
I'm pretty good at pushing and pulling.
Well, okay, so these are massive clock hands, right?
Yeah, they're massive clock hands. This clock face is about like 20 feet in diameter. You can kind of like, there are enough like rubble
Wow.
and chunks where you can climb up and like push it.
Okay.
And also like you got a tall half orc with a halberd, man. You can move anything.
Right. Miss Friday, would you care to give me a hand with this?
Certainly.
And I'll go up and try to, I guess, manually move the hand. Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's currently like, it almost looks like it's in 6 o'clock. Are you trying to move it exactly to 6, or are you trying to move, where are you trying to move it to?
You know what? That's a good question. We better. Do we want to move time forward or backwards right now?
Let's move it to the same as the watch. So what's it close to?
The watch, after you had moved it to 6, like I'm trying to think, because I have directions, I just have to work on Feywild's weird. Right now it had been at 6, and it has been the time since you have suddenly arrived here, and when you check again, it looks like it's around 10-ish. It's like the minute hand is at 12, and then the hour hand looks like it's sort of in between like 11 and 10-ish.
So, is it because the two are out of sync with each other? Maybe that... That's my best guess.
I mean, setting the face right would only really be like the beginning. I imagine we need to put the numbers back on and replace the gears.
There's another bong from above you, and I need everyone to make me a Constitution saving throw.
Ah, well, good thing I invested in Constitution.
No, you didn't. Don't lie to me, Scrat.
That's a 6 for me.
Okay.
15 for Zote.
Okay. Okay, why can't I? Okay, whoops. So Fife and Friday, this loud bong sort of erupts, and you can. Zote, you were expecting it. You've been keeping track of how these moving, and despite being broken, it's still somewhat on rhythm. And this is about the 9th sort of chime, and you can see as it chimes more cracks sort of rib across this clock face. But Fife and Friday, you weren't expecting it, and this sort of loud, massive ringing sort of echoes through your ear. You all feel like as if you drop again, but more this time. And then Friday and Fife, you take 8 points of thunder damage.
Well, that was quite loud. Maybe we should go and stop the bell from ringing before we carry on trying to fix things?
Is there a bell you said was in here?
Yeah, there is a giant bell above you. It is ringing every out, not like every, like, you know how clocks chime when they chime like 11 times when it's 11 o'clock. This is chimed every time to signal what time it is, and it's hit 9, but it doesn't seem like it's looking like it's gonna stop anytime soon. Yes. You're muted. Or are you not? Huh? I can't hear you.
You're muted in Roll20. Bottom left. Zoom, sorry, not Roll20.
No, I still can't hear.
Yep,
You're muted.
In Zoom.
Bottom left.
There we go. Oh, no, now...
No, I still can't hear.
Now you're not muted in Zoom, now you're muted somewhere else.
As this bell sort of chimes, that you can see bits of the roof starting to fall around you. You can see as you look around, there's like the catwalk or platforms you are in this clock tower are starting to sort of like crumble a bit as like the rubble sort of hits it. You can sort of almost feel like yourself slide a little. Yeah, I still can't hear you, Fife.
Okay.
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go!
Yep.
Yay!
Okay. Literally just had to unplug it and plug it back in. I don't know what happened.
When
That's
in
totally
doubt.
fine.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah,
Okay.
so you can see, like, and as you're standing on these catwalks in the tower, you can see chunks of rubble are starting to fall around you. You can feel like this tower itself sort of sway.
Okay. Alright, well, I'm first gonna take my shield and, like, hold it up over my, I guess, antlers. And,
prop it on your antlers.
Yeah, I'm trying to, like, okay, we need to get out of this room, yes?
Well, up or down?
You look around, there are stairs down.
There's stairs now or stairs down? Down.
To be fair, both kind of, yes, but like mostly stairs down is what I said.
Both kind of yes.
It's like,
Okay.
it doesn't seem we have, no pun intended, the time to fix this.
It is not necessarily you don't have the time, but you can tell there's a lot of missing parts that you don't have.
Okay. So
Let's.
yeah, I'm taking off for the stairwell.
Okay.
I guess that's the way we're going. I'll follow after.
And Zote looks back for 12. You coming with?
Run, run, run! You should run! And just sort of flies down. And everyone make me dexterity saving throws. This would be or athletics or strength. I think you can do both because this is essentially just how fast are you.
We'll go for athletics.
Yeah.
That's a 16.
Ooh.
Oh, wait, so are we doing a check or a saving throw?
Honestly, it's you can do. I'll let you do kind of whatever you'd like, whatever you're best at. Either it is a strength or dexterity saving throw, or a skill if you have a proficiency. Just like explain to me what you're using and why, and I'll probably allow it.
Can I intimidate the tower?
No, you cannot.
Okay, then acrobatics. 18.
Okay, so all of you rolled well enough to get out. As you can see, as this hits, it chimes 10, it chimes 11, and it chimes 12. And as you stumble, you follow these stairs and you run and you run and you run, you could see the wood and the stone sort of crumbling around you, and these vines, these pieces of foliage and ancient tower just sort of start crumbling. You burst out of this door sort of with Fife leading the way and just sort of barreling through with your shield, and you follow suit. You can see as you sort of stumble out into this ruined stone courtyard underneath the twilight sky, this tower just crumbles and it falls until the clock face itself is all that's left, and it just sort of lands broken among the rubble. Still broken, cracks around it, all the numbers gouged out, and you see 12 just sort of hover a little bit before perching where the number 12 should be, just sort of perched on top and just sort of looking around at you.
Well, that could have been us.
Everyone.
Ooh.
Wait, no. Friday, you go. What were you gonna do?
I was gonna say, do you think it would be a bad idea to try and wind the clock back again and see if all of that reverses itself? Maybe I could just fix the clock by just turning backwards enough.
Is it that or looking up at 12? Are there others like you? Are you the only one of? I mean, where's 11 and 10 and?
There are many of us, but they are lost.
But you're a
They
bird.
are lost. They are not all birds. Not all of them are birds. There are a lot of us, and oh no.
Is this a cuckoo clock?
As 12 sort of devolves it again into oh no, you can see him look at the ground around you, and sort of look around at you and look at you specifically. Everyone you can either use your passive perception or you can make me perception checks. It's up to you, whatever you like. Whatever you're feeling.
Sure, I'll go with my passive. 13.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll with passive. I mean, yeah.
I've risked it and I got a biscuit.
Oh god. I will say, Friday, as you you're like thinking, maybe I could try rewinding the clock backwards. I don't know, maybe there's something around here, and I think everyone sort of notices this eventually, but Friday's the first to notice. Under the twilight sky, as you're looking around, there are 3 of you standing in this courtyard, and there are 4 shadows on the ground. And that's where we're gonna take our break.
Okay. Wow.
Okay, well, give me a hot second. Nah, it's not gonna happen. I need to sneeze, but it's not happening. Isn't that just the worst feeling? Okay, we're going to take a break, everyone. We're going to take 5 minutes where we're going to grab maybe a snack, maybe a bite, maybe a drink. And then we'll be back to continue this tale. You should do the same, especially if you've been with us since the beginning. Time to take a break. Stretch your legs. And we will see you back here in 5. I didn't stall enough to get everything set up, but I did now. Catch you in a minute, everyone.
Time's running out, loves. Tick-tock.
Oh, hi everyone! I hope you had a fantastic break. We certainly did. I hope you also remember to wash your hands, because that virus is out there. They ain't no joke. Make sure you're washing your hands. Hi! That's enough of my announcements. Mackenzie, let's go back to you.
Wow, Scrat, why do you sound...
Uh-oh.
I didn't hear what you said, Mackenzie. When the music
I said-
stopped, you also stopped.
Yeah.
Hi. I was like, yeah, Scrat, you sound so concerned getting back into the game. What? Why? Whatever would you do?
Oh no,
Why?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's up
Okay.
this chaos. Let's do it.
All right. So as you look around, and you look at this clock, as the twilight sort of hits these very dull stained glass panels and sort of cascade these shards of rainbow light across the sort of broken courtyard, and you look around, you can see there are 3 of you standing in this courtyard. There are 4 shadows on the ground.
Where's the 4th shadow closest to? Like, is it just like a shadow on the ground?
It
or is
looks
it
like if you look at it, it looks like a person. It looks like humanoid, sort of long hair, a sort of either like a cape or a gown, sort of that tapered silhouette. It's standing right next to Friday. Friday's shadow is like out here, and then like it's right next to Friday, as if the person who would be casting the shadow would be right next to Friday, but there is no person there.
Okay.
I'm going to poke it with my quarterstaff.
Roll an attack roll. Let's see what happens.
I wasn't attacking, but yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. I mean,
I
okay,
I wanted to just
you
like
just let it
nudge.
gently. You want to
touch
gently.
it.
Okay, then you're not attacking. Okay, so you nudge it, and then as you sort of poke it, you can see the shadow like sort of move backwards, and then suddenly like swell and go up across the clock face, so that it's looks like it's standing. And then you all hear a voice. That's very rude, isn't it? Mind your manners, God.
Very sorry. I did not know whose shadow this belonged to.
I was just watching. Don't mind me.
No. I don't believe we met. Talking shadow.
Yes.
I'm Fife.
Oh, I know. Don't worry. Fife, Zote, Friday. Oh, your full name, but that's a bit of a mess, isn't it?
Well,
How dare you?
Am I wrong, love?
Ryder Florag, it's not that hard. My mother gave me that name.
That's a terrible mistake on her part, isn't it?
I brandish my halberd. Look, there are a lot of things I'll let people get away with, but insulting my mother is not one of them.
Oh, darling, you act as if I care.
Well, you're one to be giving lectures on manners.
I like
oh,
this person.
I don't need to obey manners. Not in this little scenario, anyways. I'm just watching, having fun. I'm surprised you survived. You're the first people to get that far.
There
So-
were others?
Oh, there have been plenty others. It gets rather boring, don't you know?
Oh,
Did you bring us here?
Now that would be giving away the end of the story, wouldn't it? And I don't want to do that. It's been so much fun already.
How about you give away the beginning of the story?
Okay. Once upon a time, there was a very wonderful person who was very lonely and very, very bored. And she might have devised a little game. Just for fun. Because it's awfully boring here and we don't get a lot of visitors around. It's a lot more fun watching the little playthings run, and it's a lot more fun watching the little playthings pretend they're smart and try and put things together. And it's really, really fascinating when you try and get your little playthings to go home. This is what you want, right? You've got your little petty meeting with that silly little Senate, don't you, Friday?
I like this person.
Oh, good. I like you too.
Don't like them at all.
You both keep talking about this Senate. What's Senate?
Oh, it's terribly boring, Five. Don't bother with it.
I mean, it's literally the most interesting thing to me right now.
Listen, it's
Oh,
not
you
boring.
want-
We gather all of the Azorius senators and diplomats from across the Ravnica. We all get together and decide on the laws and enforceable actions of the city of Ravnica to make it a safer place for all of its inhabitants. It's actually really quite exciting.
Wow, you need to lighten up, my friend. Good thing I found you. Anyways, Five, you said you wanted this to be more exciting.
I mean, not really.
Oh, but you said this was so terribly... Well, the Senate is the most exciting thing.
Well, yes, it was information I was looking to ascertain, but
Well, how about this? And you can see the shadow raise a finger and snap. And you suddenly feel... I'm gonna need... Five, I'm gonna need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
that is a get off my spell sheet. Here we go. That is a 13.
Okay, you feel something sort of like, you can see the snap and then you can see like there's like a ripple through the air. And you can see something sort of run up and encase you. It doesn't hurt, but there is something there. Your skin turns to diamond until the start of your next turn. Whenever you would take damage during that time, you take no damage, but instead regain hit points equal to the damage that would have been dealt. Hello, Weird Arcana.
I just got petrified.
No, you can still move, but it just looks
Wait,
like there's
okay.
this sudden, like, it's almost as if like black glass just sort of shoots out of the ground and sort of like encases you, and then the shadow just sort of like, you can see the gap where the face would be. You can see it part and just smile, this like too wide smile. Was that more exciting? Does that liven things up? I always like to make sure my little playthings are entertained.
Am I just like frozen in place, or I
No,
still
you
have
can
like
you can
articulation?
still move.
Okay.
You can still move. It's just like it's like you know, like how the Tin Man is when they're not oiled properly. That's kind of
Right.
what it is.
I'm more just like, okay. I'm gonna pop 5 of my lay on hands to try and end a condition. Oh no, wait. One disease and one poison.
This is a weird Arcana effect. I won't make you burn
okay.
that, so it wouldn't work.
It's like an anomalous effect there.
Yeah,
Something.
it's the ye olde retweets have dictated. The gods of retweeting have dictated your skin turn to diamond.
Nice. Okay. Look, this is not my idea of excitement.
Okay, well, would you prefer something more faster paced? I can provide.
No. Friday, so get somebody in. I'm gonna. Okay. Well, if that's what you're doing, then I'm going to do this. I'm gonna cast Fairy Fire on her.
Okay, you can cast Fairy Fire. As you sort of you cast the spell, you can see that smile. It grows and it grows and it stretches far too wide than a normal smile, and you hear this sort of, "Oh, that's very cute. Have fun, loves." And you can see the Fairy Fire grips onto something, but it's not this shadow. You can see the shadow sort of like seep into the ground, and where it was sort of like in this sort of twisted metal and wood of the clock face, you can see this shadow sort of grip onto it, and the hands of the clock face start to lurch, and they move. They sort of fall onto the ground. You can see sort of these arms sort of lean out, and this tall pointed head, mangled and twisted of iron and wood, sort of takes this form. What's your spell save for Fairy Fire?
15.
Okay. What kind of save?
I believe that's a dexterity save.
Dexterity save. Okay, doke. Okay, boop. 50. Okay, so it fails. It is wreathed in Fairy Fire. And everyone roll me some initiative.
All right. Yeah.
Oh.
That's 11 for me, for Zote.
Okay. Oh, God, Scrat. God, Scrat.
Oof.
Hold on, let me get some paper out.
Did you get? Oh.
It's bad. Hold on. Oh God, hold on. Oh my God, I have so many initiatives from old games in here. So, well, I rolled a crit too, so it's fine. So, Zote, you
the
said
closed
11.
captions had no chance. You
Yes.
had a pen in your mouth.
Okay. Five. What was yours? For
Oh,
initiative.
sorry. I don't have a dex right. Yeah, 19.
19. Okay. So you are going first. 5 is 19. So it's 11. Then it's the Dusk Dryad. I spelled that wrong, but it's fine. No one's looking at this but me. And then it's Friday with a 2. All right. First up is Fife. This thing is wreathed in Fairy Fire.
And I'm just clarifying this. I'm not.
You have no restriction on your movement.
Okay.
It is
Okay.
Purely narrative flavor. The only thing is
Gotcha.
that when you take until the end of your next turn, whenever you would take damage, you take no damage, but instead regain hit points equal to the damage that would have been dealt.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I'm gonna do the paladin thing
Do the paladin thing.
and run right up to. You said there was a creature that just became like an animated.
It's like the shadow itself. When you cast the Fairy Fire, it didn't. The shadow had fallen into the ground,
Right.
and where the shadow had been, this sort of twisted hunk of metal and this dark metal and dark wood had taken its place, almost as if to be the chess piece in its place. And so the Fairy Fire has taken a hold of this thing.
Okay.
It is the only thing, only combatant on the battlefield.
Then I'm going to.
Hold on, I forgot. Oh no, yeah, keep going. I just have one more initiative to roll.
I'm going to cast magic weapon on my longsword.
Okay.
And how far away is this thing from me?
It's within 30 feet.
Okay. I'm gonna look over at Zote and Friday and see like, this is the only thing that seems to be giving us any answers. What should we do? And I'm just gonna ready an attack if this thing comes after me.
Okay.
But I'm gonna try to get up close next to, basically within 5 feet of Zote.
Okay. You can do that.
And that's all yep.
All right. Zote, it is your turn.
The shadow is still there, or
The
is it?
shadow had laughed and sort of disappeared. Like it's like the shadow had melted into the ground, and you can watch it like ripple and disappear. And as the shadow had said, "Why don't I make this more exciting?" The clock hands had sort of come to life and become this sort of twisted, mangled, animated tree, metal wood creature thingy.
Yeah, I'm going to assume I am going to attack you for fun, type of thing, cat and mouse, and
Villains understand villains, yo.
And I'm going to cast as my bonus action, spiritual weapon
Okay.
for an attack on this creature.
Okay. Give it a swing.
That is a damn 27 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits 100%. Roll me some damage.
6 plus 5, 11 force damage.
11 force damage.
And
Ooh.
as my action,
Huh?
I will do firebolt.
Okay.
That one is a 16 to hit.
Why don't you describe to me, what does your spiritual weapon look like?
It looks kind of like a very pestilent dark orb, but like with an eye. It's kind of just an orb that flies out and smashes
Okay.
against them.
So yeah.
Very
So
creepy.
as this thing sort of croomps into this weird creature, it lets out this and as it sort of recoils and rounds back, your firebolt just barely glances off of it and misses.
Okay. And I will back up 5 feet behind the paladin.
Okay. Technically it's 12's turn, but 12 is just sitting on the clock, just sort of doing the equivalent bird of "this is fine." And with that, it is the Dusk Dryad's turn. What can this bad boy do again? I don't remember. Hold on.
I'll just sit here at the bottom of the turn. It's okay. I'll pop it up for everyone else.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Actually, wait. No, I was looking at the wrong sheet. Shoot. No. The firebolt would have hit. Sorry. I was looking at 12's
Okay.
sheet. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was looking. I had
it-
the wrong sheet open this entire time. Whoops.
It wouldn't have hit
No, I was
12,
not-
but it's gonna hit the thing that we're fighting, man. 12's the real boss here. Like,
Yeah.
12. Don't worry about 12. 12 is fine.
yeah.
12 is small. It's hard to hit. It's fine. Okay. Oh yeah, it's a level 5. Oh, so it's 2d10s for firebolt.
Yes, 2d10s.
Okay, 6.
I didn't realize
4.
until I looked at the spells, and I was just like, oh wait, these aren't the spells that the Dust Dryad has. Whoopsies.
6 and
So,
4, so
6 and
10.
4, 10? Okay.
10 fire damage total.
So this firebolt streaks off, and you can see it catches this mangled mess of a tree, and you can watch as this fire sort of spreads to all of its wooden parts, and it just burns and it chars it to this smoky black. And you can see these vicious spirals of ash and smoke sort of rise it off, and it again lets out that sort of noise. And it is now the Dusk Dryad's turn. and I don't feel as bad about doing this now. Everyone make me, hold on. What saving throw is that? That is not what I, okay, well, it's fine. Everyone make me a constitution saving throw, please. As this Dusk Dryad casts Circle of Death.
Oh,
Gosh.
natural 1. But, I mean,
Oh.
yeah, that's a 5. Modified,
You said con. You said con.
Con.
That's a 7 from me.
Alright, all of you take 34 points of necrotic damage.
Jeez.
I rolled really well, I'm sorry. Roll 20
Yeah,
normally isn't that nice to me. I'm sorry.
I have a feature.
Uh-huh.
What is it called? Since I am a divine soul. Once per short rest, you can, if you fail a saving throw or miss with an attack, you can roll 2d4 and add it to the total possible, changing the outcome.
Okay. You can
So-
do that if you would like.
Well, I hope so, because Zote only has 30 hit points.
Alright.
I added 5 to my 7, so 11. I assume.
It's 12, but unfortunately that isn't going to be enough. This doesn't like automatically kill you, but you are down.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, was 5 because of your diamond skin, as this sort of necrotic wash of like this pale energy just sort of hums, and the ground itself seems to like, as color itself seems to be leached from the ground. You all kind of feel that tiredness, so you just fall. But 5, because of this weird diamond effect on your skin, instead of leaching from you, it's almost as if the ground sucks up this diamond encasing you and pulls it into the ground instead. You don't take any damage as per the rules of the Weird Arcana. You regain any hit points if you lost any. You regain up to 34.
Wow. All right. Yeah, because I was down to 1. So.
you regain your hit points.
Wow.
That's about it. That's all I can do.
That's a lot. I mean, pretty nice.
Friday, it's your turn.
Yay! Also, Huggus Hunter, thank you for our 20th retweet. If you're in chat, type roll, and we'll get you a...
More chaos, more chaos, more chaos.
After this circle of death happens, Friday's gonna toss back her hair, look at the dryad who insulted her mother, point a gnarly finger and say, "Right! That does it! I've had enough of you! I'm going to run forward with my halberd recklessly and try and shove it in her face."
Okay, roll me. You have 2 attacks, so roll me both.
A 19
yeah.
and a 25.
Both will hit. Roll me a d10.
Just one?
Yeah, just 1.
9.
What does it say on the mayhem table? Can you pull that up for me, please? Because I have like 3 different NPC windows open at the moment.
Let's see. So this is one of my features, right? This is go through this. Magic Mayhem. When during a rage, yes, you make a melee attack and choose to attack recklessly. Yep. You must roll on the Mayhem table and trigger an additional effect. That'd be 2 then, wouldn't it? That'd be 2 effects the way that's written.
Okay, yeah, sure, yeah. Okay, roll me another d10. I forgot what I wrote. Okay, so
You cast darkness centered on the target.
Okay.
And the shadows at your feet spring to life. Both you and the target must succeed on a strength saving throw against your spell save DC or become grappled by these malignant shadows until the end of your next turn.
Okay. Your spell save DC is charisma, and I believe it's 12. So make me a strength saving throw.
Easy.
Yeah, you're fine.
There you go.
I am not. So the dryad is grappled, but also you can't see stuff as you swing your halberd. It's almost as if like it's not under your control. This isn't something you do. This isn't normal. All of a sudden, as you swing this halberd, there is this crackle of blackish purple energy, very similar to almost what it looked like when this dryad had risen out of the ground. And as you sort of hack at it, all of a sudden this darkness sort of blooms around you. And you can see the shadows, weirdly enough, in this darkness. You can reach up and grab the dust dryad. You can feel something cold sort of lap and like lick at your legs. It doesn't get hold. And it takes damage, so roll me damage. Roll me some sweet damage.
Indeed. Have 15, followed
15.
up by 10. 25 total damage.
Oh god. Oh, it hurt. It hurt.
And Lucas Hunter rolled a 14.
Roll the 14. Okay. Okay. With that, it is Fife. It is your turn. So as I look that up, Fife, you watch as this half-orc who swears she is normal run up and all of a sudden crackle with this palish purple and then brackish energy as she swings at this thing, and all of a sudden, in time with her attacks, this darkness swells around you. I'm pretty sure you are covered by this darkness. I don't know if fairy fire cancels out darkness or not. I don't remember.
Magical darkness? I don't believe
I don't think
it
so.
does.
I don't believe it does.
Hey, like, are you talking as per the spell?
I mean, like,
Yeah,
looking at the darkness spell,
Non-magical light can't illuminate it.
I think what we'll do is that because
The spell that created the light is dispelled. Yep, so fairy fire is gone.
okay, well,
Sorry.
fairy fire is gone.
Womp
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We're gonna be fine.
It's good. It's fine.
But it's grappled, so you have advantage and
Yeah,
disadvantage.
so it
Yeah.
all cancels out in the end. Okay, I have found what the 14 is. I will do the roll 1d3 to assign it. Fife, what would you like to do as this darkness sort of boom blooms out?
I'm thinking this is where. Oh man, you haven't made a death save yet, right?
Nope.
So, okay.
That would
Not
be after your turn, I think.
Yes.
Okay. I'll get you next turn because I'm gonna go in there and smack a hoe. All right, I'm gonna just run up with my magic weapon, my long sword, which I imagine now is just like wreathed in sort of like small little wisps, and just go up and divine smite. Wait, it's in darkness, right?
Yes, it is in darkness.
So I would have disadvantage on the check, but it's grappled.
It's grappled, which with Ron.
So it'd be a
with rules
straight
as
roll?
written,
Or
I think.
Yeah, no, what we're thinking of is restrained.
Restraint.
oh,
so-
restrained. Yep.
Ah, okay,
Yeah,
okay. So you would
Okay.
still have disadvantage.
Yep. Okay.
I will say the firebolt from earlier though did take a hefty chunk out of it, so I mean it's a little hard. So you can just roll at disadvantage, but I think its AC overall has definitely gone a little down. So
Okay.
I helped.
I'm gonna go on ahead and try and give it a.
you
Yep.
took a massive chunk out of this thing, I will say.
I mean, maybe I should have started off with burning hands instead.
Right. Okay. With this, oh, that's unfortunate. That's a 9 to hit.
The 9 to hit. Okay.
Oh wait, 10. I don't think so, but yeah.
Let me see. Let me check something real quick. What does this do again? I don't remember.
You
It
have
is
2 attacks, right? Though.
I do. If I take the attack action, I can do another one. So.
So I think the first one misses.
Okay. So I'm gonna go for it again. Not much better. That's a 12.
A 12 will hit.
Okay. So with that, I'll go on ahead and throw a point of smite into it. Hit with weapon attack. Okay, still learning paladin. All right, cool.
No worries, no worries.
Spend one spell slot to deal radiant weapons to the target. Okay, cool. 1d8. All right, and just as soon as I bring down the sword, There we go. It's the other D8.
Yeah.
That is gonna be a 12. So it's gonna be sorry, math right now. 11 points of slashing damage,
Okay.
and then 2 points of radiant damage.
Okay.
And oh wait, sorry. Another 6 points of radiant damage. I didn't see that 2d8.
Okay. It's looking real rough.
And how far did I have to walk away from Zote to do that?
I would say y'all were Zote and you were about 30 feet away in order to get, so you'd probably use your full movement.
Use my full movement. Okay.
Yeah, to get up to it.
Then yeah, I'm gonna.
Okay.
Yep, that's it for me.
Okay. Zote, it is your turn. Roll me a death save.
That is a 13.
Okay, that is a pass. So that is one success. And as you sort of are lying there, you feel there is a soft like ah from somewhere above the darkness, and then you feel these two metal talons just sort of tap onto your shoulder, and 12 casts Cure Wounds.
Well, thank you.
And you get 12 hit points back. You are back up.
Well, awesome. This is my new best friend.
12 just sort of, as you wake up, 12 looks at you and goes, you, I like you.
He's like, I like you too. Quick question. I mean, I don't know that's the end of my turn because death saving
Yes.
throw comes to the end. Since it's not technically concentration, does spiritual weapon stay up?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Because I've never had someone fall unconscious with a spiritual weapon. I was like, okay,
It
thank
was
you.
very quick, to be fair. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Let's see, what can this thing do? What can this thing do? I don't know. Alright, it's the Dust Dryad's turn, and the Dust Dryad is angry. It's gonna swing twice, one at Friday and one at 5. 5, your diamond skin is gone, so you are going to take this damage.
Oh yeah, I've got it coming.
Okay, first attack is at, I think I said Friday first, so does a 17 hit? I believe a 17 hits, because you have a 10 armor class.
What?
I do. Whoops.
Yeah.
For some reason,
Yeah.
I really thought unarmored defense was wisdom and dex, not con and dex.
No, that's monk.
Yeah.
That's monk.
Whoops. Oh well, yep, I have a 10. Sure, that's how this is gonna go. Let's do this.
Oh, that's awesome.
I remember because I was putting in things in your sheet and I just went, okay.
This is fine. Carry on. Hit me.
So, okay, 17 hits.
Yep.
For 8 bludgeoning damage. Half because of your rage.
Oh, I'm gonna use my reaction to give disadvantage on that with my fighting style.
Okay.
Protection.
So the next attack on you, right? Or the next
No,
one?
the attack on Friday right there.
It would still be a 17 because it automatically rolled 2, so it would still be a 17.
Oh,
After
Well-
they've called the protection, you wouldn't roll again for me, Mac?
All right, I'll roll again. Fine, I will. Fine.
Use any means necessary to succeed. Up.
I'm sorry.
Balls.
Does a 17 hit?
Yeah,
Wow.
17 hits. Okay.
wow. I tried. All right.
Okay, so reduced to 4. That is enough to knock me down, but instead of going down, my head is turned, blood falls from my mouth. I looked at I've really had enough of you, as I'm going to use relentless endurance to stay at 1 HP instead of
Okay.
being flippant.
Okay. And I am going to. I feel really bad about rolling twice and having that be the result. The next attack is at 5.
All right.
Does a 23 hit?
A 23 will hit. Yeah.
I'm really sorry. I feel
No,
so
no.
bad. That's 9 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And with that, it is Friday's turn, unless there's anything else anyone would like to do.
I think we're good.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
deal with having just gotten my jaw broken. Yeah. Oh, we're good.
All right, Friday. What would you like to do?
I really have had enough. I feel like I should be drawing on a second wind, but I don't have that. So I'm going to carry on beating at the Dryad, hoping that they're dead. In the name of the law, you should stop all of your... whatever it is you do, just stop it! And whackity 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 whack.
Okay, whackety whackety away.
Can we say your bardage is a gavel?
The halberd is a giant gavel.
Suddenly I see how I could have implemented the hand axes. Like 26 and a 19 using
Oh
extra.
yeah, both will hit. Roll me that sweet, sweet damage.
Obviously, everything reckless as well. Sorry, I didn't declare.
All right, roll me 2d10 and then roll me some damage. Okay.
So many tables to juggle. Okay, so...
I'm sorry you asked for this, Scrat.
Dark energy crackles around your strikes. Both you and the target take 3d6 lightning damage. Whoops. Fortunately, that is on the second attack.
All right.
A swath of dark energy lashes around the target's eyes. The target is blinded until the end of my next turn.
Okay, cool. Roll me the damage, and then you can roll the 3d6.
Another 30 damage to them, and then
Okay.
both of us will receive 12 points of lightning damage, and I'm down for good this time.
I'm sorry. Whoops. Okay.
Didn't you plan to do more episodes after this? Oh man.
This
I
is
mean,
the
I'm
one.
hoping
This is the
you'll
one
love
game
it.
I didn't ask you to roll a backup character. Dang. Ah, shoot. Hindsight. Oh well.
It's okay. I've got Sebastian Garcia just like on
Oh
deck.
fuck you. Okay, yeah, that happens. And Friday falls down. You can see this lightning catch onto the metal parts of this sort of misshapen thing, and it sort of sparks and lights up. The darkness disappears as this lightning sort of crackles out, and you see Friday do these 2 strikes, and this last strike hits. This lightning arcs off, and Friday just down to the ground. With that, it is Fife's turn. It is Fife's turn. I don't know why I said that with doubt. It is Fife's turn.
I'm guessing. I'm trying to reconcile how I saw that happen. So I'm guessing I hit, and then I'm just. Is there any way I would have seen Friday go down? Do you think?
You would have, because as with how the mayhem table works, the darkness would have been dispelled at the end of this turn. So as Friday swings, you see this lightning suddenly arc out from their halberd. This sort of palish, purplish, blackish lightning just sort of crackle around, and as it flares, the darkness is dispelled, and you can see the lightning arc around the Dryad as it takes damage. But you can also see the lightning arc around Friday as Friday falls.
I'm going to go on ahead and reach down and just tap her shin and use about 20 points of lay on hands.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like,
You smell like ozone, Friday. You feel tingly all over, like, you know, when like you just all your limbs feel tingly, like you lost blood flow. It's just kind of like
What does ozone smell like?
like static. You ever smell a TV? Like, you know, static electricity
You
on a
ever
TV?
smell a TV?
Yeah, no, it's for real. Like an old CCTV. That
It smells
static
like
is.
burning. It smells like burning. Sort of.
It's a very sharp smell. it's hard to describe, but yeah, no, for real, that's
Yeah, no, you can smell ozone. That's a thing. That's what lightning does. I took science. I know what lightning does.
Sure, great. I smell like ozone. Got it.
Is there anything else you want to do, Fife, or is that all you can do?
I can't really do anything to help out. Otherwise, I'm just gonna stay there and keep trying to defend Friday until she gets
Okay.
back up.
Okay. With
And-
that, it is Zote's turn. Zote, you
Okay.
just sort of came back to life with this bird kind of sitting on your chest. Like, the bird is like this close to your face. It's like, you are, hello, I want to help.
Okay. He says, "You got any more of that in you?"
I can, but it is not my turn.
He's just making sure.
I will break meta for this joke.
Well, Zote will stand up and hoping the bird does not have to be, or 12 does not have to be wound anymore in case he needs more healing. Man, see, I would cast Burning Hands now, but there's 2 other people there.
I mean, I'm not gonna stop you if you do. Set it on fire. Set it on fire. Set it on fire. I'm kidding. I mean, actually, it's up to you.
Well, first off, spiritual weapon's still going.
Yes.
I will have it take another pass.
All
At
right,
this
give it a
creature.
good swing.
That is a 24 to hit.
Oh, that'll definitely hit.
6 plus 5, 11 force damage.
Okay.
See, yeah, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm going to use a meta magic point. To do a distant spell, and I'm going to do inflict wounds at range
Awesome.
at 3rd level.
Okay,
So
roll me that attack. I
hopefully it
think,
hits.
yeah,
It
Come
is
on.
an attack roll. That is a 16 to hit.
that'll hit.
Wow.
That is 5d10 necrotic.
Oh God.
Cool move.
9, 14, 16, 26, 29 necrotic damage.
How does it look as you fell this tree?
It looks as if the more shadow has wrapped around it, and just kind of it decays and is pulled kind of apart by necrotic rot into a like shriveling plant, just kind of being pulled open.
And it's like you can see this pale, like this blight just suddenly creep up from the ground, up along its trunk, along its arms, and you can see where the wood has melted with the metal. You can see that inflict wounds is turning the metal into rust, and you can see it just sort of and like sort of just stiffen and then just suddenly start to crumble. Very similar to how the tower had crumbled, just sort of crumble and shatter to the ground. Scraps of metal and rust and rot just sort of plum, 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 onto the ground. And Fife and Friday, as you sort of sit up, you can see this creature that had been attacking you is no more.
And so after he fells this thing with a smile on his face. Are you satisfied, Shadow?
In the distance, you just hear a cute.
Sorry, was something funny?
There is no response. You see 12 is... What, I'm assuming when you got up, did you like keep 12 with you? Did you just sort of like, as you stood up, you just kind of like 12 go?
I just stood up. If it was
Okay.
clinging, if 12 was clinging on to me, I let him. I kind of
I'm
gesture
really
him to go.
tempted to have 12 be clinging on you and just didn't move, and it's just like hanging like upside down from your shirt right now.
That's fine. That's fine. He's my new
And
best friend.
And the 12 sort of turns his head like full 180 to look up, and then look over at Friday on the ground. Are you okay? You are muted, Friday.
Miss Friday?
I cannot hear you.
I'm fine now. Thank you, Five.
Certainly. I'm just gonna like offer a hand to like help you up.
As you do that, since you two were the closest to the dryad when it exploded, roll me investigation or perception as you sort of stand up. Or you can use your passive if you would prefer.
Investigation perception. We'll just go. Sure, I'll risk it.
Risk it for a biscuit.
There you go, 15.
Okay. So, Friday, you are getting up and adjusting yourself off. You don't really see anything. You feel sort of a soft settling on your shoulder as 12 sort of flaps over and lands on your shoulder, and then just sort of like kind of nuzzles your face a little bit like a cat, just like, hi. But Five, as you sort of pick something up, as you're looking around, you see where this creature had sort of imploded. The kind of the wreckage of this creature. As you're looking around, you see amid the metal and the rust, you see you see this very strange shaped hunk of metal. It almost catches the light differently because it's mounted on a piece of stained glass. As you kind of look at it a little bit more closely, you can see it looks like numbers, a pair of numbers.
I'll go on ahead and pull it from the carcass, I guess.
It's ruins, carcass,
Yeah.
dead plants.
Yeah.
As you pull it, it seemed to have been like right at the center of this thing. And as you pull it out, you can see in your hands these very, very large and very similar to what Zote had used to wind up 12. It is a number mounted on stained glass, a 1 and a 2.
I'm just gonna show it over to 12. I'm guessing this came from the clock.
Fix, clock. And then just keeps nuzzling Friday.
All right, I'll fix it.
And
I'm gonna
I'll
grab
hand yeah.
I'm gonna grab 12 out of the air and investigate them to see if there are numbers on them anywhere.
Well, there is the wind-up key still in them.
Is that a number?
It had as you pull out the key, the teeth of the key have a 12 on them. My God, Scrat!
Put it back in. Put it back in.
Was that a wine cork puller?
Yeah.
It's key shaped.
Yeah.
Doesn't have any numbers on it though.
No, it does. The teeth are 12. The teeth look like the number 12.
I think the teeth of this are the number 12. Maybe we could snap them off and put them back on the clock.
Friday is now limp and dead in your arms. No, not Friday.
What?
Friday, no. 12 is limp and dead in your arms. Sorry.
That's what you get for killing your favorite NPC.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Sorry, I mixed up
Oh
the
my
words.
goodness.
12 is limp and dead in your arms now.
Well, that was the closest thing we had to a friend out here, so...
What, are you saying we should put the 12 in last?
Yes. I believe so.
So there's a lot of 12s here, and I have regrets now about naming things. So there's the 12 on the key, there's 12 the bird, and then there's 12 like this giant like foot-sized number 12 that you pulled from the wreckage.
So, you think I should put the key back in 12?
Yeah, yes, very, very much so. I mean, if we're going off of, you know, what I've seen in...
Oh god!
Oh my god!
Oh god! Oh god! No! The humanity! You wind 12 back up?
I do.
Did you oh, whoa, ow, that tickles. Oh god. Fly! That's exactly what happens. You wind it up and you try and toss 12 in the air, but 12 isn't wound up all the way, and it just kind of lands on the ground, and then just like, ow, that was that necessary?
Zote will pick 12 back up and like set it on his shirt like a croissant.
Like a croissant.
Not croissant, but corsage. Like a flower.
Yeah. I just imagined like a croissant for a hot second just sitting on your shirt, and I was just like, great.
Where else would you keep them?
Where else would you keep your croissants? 12 definitely like leans a little and just sort of like tries to like, you know how like birds kind of pull their neck in sometimes? It tries to do that and just tries to not look at Friday.
No, so you've upset it.
Fine, it can be upset.
I just wanted to help. Ow.
See, it's fine.
Well, now...
So there's a big 12?
There is a big 12, and
Yeah.
it looks like it's mounted on this sort of pane of stained glass that's broken and chipped at the edges.
And that came from this creature, so like
Yes, when this creature died, it left behind this.
And we can... Does it look like it would fit back on this stained glass cylindrical?
Surprisingly, yes.
Surprisingly. It's the only thing it looked like it would fit. So Zote will suggest that Fife, well, let's put it back. Let's see what happens.
Well, I'm inclined to agree. How do we make sure it stays in place?
A hammer?
Does anyone have any sovereign glue?
A what?
I like how everyone looks in their inventory.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
I mean, I can try to melt it in place with spells, but I can
I could
create
just-
bonfire.
Hammer it until it stays roughly in the right place. Seems like science.
Seems like
Yeah, see, I totally should have rolled with an artificer. Anyways.
Hey, you brought someone back
Oh,
being
yeah.
a paladin, so I mean...
Yeah, I just really don't have anything. Okay.
So are we trying to hammer the number into place?
I kind of want to look around and see. I guess if we're heading back to where the clock was, I kind of want to look around in that area and see if there were any tools that could be used to possibly repair.
Okay. Roll me an investigation or perception, whichever you would like.
Oh, it's like a 5. I'm
You
not
kind of
finding
look
anything.
around. There really isn't a lot. As you look around, it's mostly a lot of rubble and overgrown sort of plant life. You can see a couple of like cracks in the rubble and some like old tools, maybe like broken bits of iron that could possibly be used as a chisel or a crowbar in like a desperate situation, but nothing really meant for like hammering something into place.
Okay. Well, I guess we can just try putting it in place and giving it something in the back to brace it. I'm open to ideas.
Well, let's just see if it fits first.
Okay. Who's putting it into the clock? Who's decided?
I mean, I can if
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
Okay. So Friday, you kind of climb up the rubble that's like where this clock face has fallen. You can climb up the rubble of the clock tower, or what was once the clock tower, and sort of take this piece and try and fit it into the clock. Roll me a sleight of hand? Sure, yeah, that seems about right.
I'm great at that.
Okay. So here's the thing. It does fit. But you weren't necessarily prepared for the aftershock that hit. You put this piece in, and you can see the stained glass lines up right, and as you kind of get close to it and you kind of try and fit this piece in, you can see where this stained glass, as it fits into the clock, it forms this swirling starry night almost. As you put the 12 in and the pieces line up, you can see where these dull pieces of the clock make this very swirling, very elegant piece of the night sky. And as you put it in, that piece, that sort of dark purpley with silvery specks of stars, suddenly glows really bright, and you find yourself, so as you are surprised by this light, you kind of fall back and stumble off the clock. Do you want to roll damage, or should I?
I can roll damage, sure.
Roll me 2d6. You take 9 points of falling damage as you kind of fall back, as this clock sort of that glow sort of permeates, and you can see everyone watching as Friday fits this in. You can see the edges where it had been broken and dull suddenly glow back with life, and you can see it almost fuse back together, and you can hear again this resounding sort of hum just sort of permeate the area.
Very loud hum.
Oops, sorry. Whoopsies. And you once again sort of feel that feeling of the ground falling out beneath you. And this mist sort of seems to spill out from the clock itself, where the lights and the night sky had been forming those swirls. You can see it almost glow and spill out in front of the clock face and sort of cover this area until only the clock face is what remains. And you are standing in this void on like these chunks of rock that are just sort of floating, and you can hear that sort of that had preceded your journey here. And you can hear it and you can track it, and as you look around and as you sort of float in this space, you can trace the hearing off into the distance, and you can see these bits of rock and these bits of broken path just sort of like almost forming a road somewhere. Uh, 12 has gotten off your shoulder and just sort of flapping.
No time for dancing, 12.
12 dances harder out of spite.
Well, it looks like we
So you
fixed something, I say, standing up, brushing myself off once more. Anyone else fancy a long rest all of a sudden?
Yeah, I could most certainly use a nap. Boy, but we are standing on floating rocks.
Yeah, it's that same sort of feeling that where it's like you felt that ground sort of fall beneath you, and then
Yeah.
you can sort of feel like the ground beneath you, but it's very tenuous. You can definitely feel like this is that in between space that sometimes the Feywild does, where those cracks form and you just sort of slip through. It's how you end up in places you never really expect. But this time, it's a persistent feeling. It's not as instantaneous. And as you look around, you can see these floating platforms sort of around, and you can see ringed almost with it as a clock itself. These gaps in the mist. And as you look closely, as like one sort of moves by, you can see a patch of the forest of the Feywild. You can see this glittering city made of starlight again in another distance. You can look around and you see these different time gateways.
So we're in like something of like a
It's the Feywild in between.
okay.
It's kind of like a hub in time.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, in Narnia where like in the first book of Narnia where they have that wood with all the pools. That's kind of what this is.
Okay.
But it's just for the Feywild.
This
And
looks
you
useful.
can see the clock. It's still broken, but you can see now that the 12 where it had been fixed is a little bit brighter than the others, and you can still hear it tick-tocking in the background.
Kids with their new
Done.
hobbies.
Can I run toward, or I say run? Can I walk towards? What was that?
It was me. Hi. I was
Oh.
upset at Scratch joke.
Oh.
I'm back now.
Can I just go up to, I guess, one of the mouths of a portal?
Yeah. Roll
just kinda-
me athletics or acrobatics, whichever you would like.
Definitely athletics. That's an 18.
All right, you see one sort of float by, and you jump, and you're able to get onto. It's like it's a little bit almost zero gravity, where you float a little bit longer, but you're still able to be in your bearings, and you land in front of this doorway. And where do you think Fife would hang out the most in the Feywild?
Oh, honestly, anywhere but home. Somewhere quiet. You know, unlike most satyrs, I don't know, I
Not a
always
party
kind of
person?
not well. I mean, a little bit more you know, yeah, he likes solitude. You know, my family really wanted me to be a musician, but the world didn't. So I'm kind of thinking, I don't know. I'm thinking just there's a nice clearing, or like a clearing with a single willow. We'll go with that.
You sort of step up to this gateway, and you see this outline of the clock, and as you sort of step up to it, the surface of it ripples, and you can see through it this very beautiful clearing. It's not verdant green, it's this beautiful, vibrant, like pinkish color. The grass itself is pink, and there's this beautiful willow tree standing in the center. The bark itself is like this sort of dusky blue, and the sort of dark leaves are illuminated with these tiny little bioluminescent buds, sort of sparkling like stars itself. And above it, you can see that beautiful pinkish purple hue, and you with your knowledge of the stars and the sky, you can pinpoint and you can see all those constellations that you know and treasure so dear.
I just kind of look back at the rest of the group and kind of put my hand in.
You put your hand in it. You can feel the breeze as you push your hand through. It's like when you know that feeling you get when you like open the door to an air conditioned space after being in a really humid day, and it's all of a sudden you feel that like the air itself feels thinner, and it feels cool and nice and wonderful. That's exactly how it feels as you push your hand through this gateway. You didn't really notice how thick the air in the space was until you push your hand through, and you suddenly feel that coolness and that freedom.
So, why don't you take a look into one of the portals?
He nods. He'll approach a portal as well.
It's a very similar question. Where does Zote like to spend their time?
More or less where he wants to spend his time, or how does he spend his time? There's a place.
Let's go with where he wants to.
Where he wants to. He wants to return to a bridge between the Feywild and the material plane. He has unfinished business, and for him, it was closed off. He's looking for a place that's open that would take him to that place that he was wanting to be.
It's, through your experience, so you haven't spent super long in the Feywild. You know that the gaps between the Feywild and the material plane are fickle, and they're hard to find. And when you do find them, the ones that are stable are rare. But you look through this portal and you see amidst this sort of dark purple grove, this forest of trees, lit with these floating orbs, almost like moonlight. You can see in the center there is this ring of very pristine white flowers that seem to glow a little bit. They glow white and they sometimes flicker blue, and you can see the air inside that ring just sort of shimmers with that same untangibility, as if it's not entirely there. And you know that is a gate. That is a way out.
And he approaches, and he does this similar thing. He will he'll put his hand through to feel the air.
Mm-hmm. And it's that same sort of feeling of relief, just pushing through a barrier, and that coolness washing over.
I think he would also take a moment to cast a spell.
Okay.
Probably. Are you familiar with augury?
Yes, I know that spell.
He would like to cast augury.
Okay.
To see if he should proceed through here.
Okay.
And he does so by taking a moment and he takes out a black mushroom with purple spots on it and then imbibes it during this process.
You eat the shroom. I'm sorry, it was there. You take this and you sort of chew it and you sort of think on this question and you cast the spell. The taste of the mushroom, it starts out with that earthy taste, and then as you think about this, if this is the gateway I should go through, if this is where my unfinished business and the thing I really want most to accomplish is through this gateway, you can feel that the taste of the mushroom become sweeter, almost like berries. This is wheel.
Okay. He says, I think these portals are meant for us.
You fix clock. You fix clock. You fix clock. So you can go. You can leave.
Right.
Sad bird noises.
This is like, maybe I'll find you again.
I mean, it does look like this portal leads to just came up with a name for this area. I mean, was that Friday, or what do you see? What do you call it? Ravinka?
Ravinka?
Oh, well, my apologies.
That's okay. Let me have a look. I'm going to stick my head through the other pole.
You stick your head through a portal, and it does in fact look like the floating city you call home. You can see as you stick your head through, you feel that wash of air. You can smell the city streets, which normally aren't great, but for now it's really welcoming. That sort of, you can hear the clatter of carriages, and I don't know a lot about Ravnica, but yeah, it's there.
Great. I'm gonna put a leg through, sort of doing the 1 foot in the door, keep the door open thing, and then pull my head back in and be like, "Yes, I found Ravnica."
You see 12. I keep wanting to call 12 Friday, and I don't know why. You flap over, and see 12 kind of flaps over and just sort of perches on you and just looks at you. Are you leaving too?
Well, I do have a meeting with the Senate. I'm sure the time being broken will get fixed. But perhaps you should contact your local police force, watch.
There
or
is no
guards.
police force. Everything is broken.
Well, then, in that case, I'm gonna reach into my pocket and pull out a.
Are you giving this bird your business card?
No,
The
worse.
cracker.
I'm going to pull out a small piece of paper and a pen, and write
God.
acting deputy on the paper, and I'm gonna pin it to the bird.
Aww.
What does this mean?
Now you're the police force.
What is a police?
You enforce the law.
What is law?
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't...
Well, the law is the basic governance of the place to ensure the safety of the civilians.
And you could see if understanding and then sheer terror could wash over a mechanical bird's face, that is what happens.
Just a full 10 seconds of still
Yeah.
bird face. Got it.
The jaw just opens up and stays there.
And then it goes, no, oh my god! Oh my god! Why? No! The bird kind of goes, no, don't, no, and just starts trying to rip it off, but like its neck is too chonky and it can't really grab it, but it's trying. It's there. So Fife and Zote, do you step through your respective doorways? Is there anything else you would like to? What are you doing?
Well, things are still broken here. I feel like we have. If there's no one else here to help out, then it seems kind of irresponsible just to leave it up to nobody.
Friday's writing
Zote?
again. Acting deputy, 1 for you. Hands it to Fife. You see, for me, acting irresponsibly would be denying my meeting with the Senate to set up the new laws and ordinances of the next generation.
You do not want to stay. Law bad.
Laws are bad.
You, and it looks to Friday. You said person who governs place is law, right?
Yes.
That is
Usually.
bad. That is bad. That is bad. That is bad. That is bad. You should leave. You should leave. Do not want to involve. Nope. Do not. And then starts trying to tear the piece of paper off its chest again. Get out.
Saying this to Friday, right?
Everyone in general is just sort of panicking. Get out. And just sort of like panicking, and the more it panics, the more its voice just his voice just starts to warble.
Is everything going to... Yeah, I know.
Zote's gonna take that paper off and pin it to Friday, then go through his portal. It says,
Okay. Yeah,
And,
you pin it on the half orc and you walk through.
I'm gonna, holding mine in my hand, just look over at 12 and just be like, is everything here going to be okay?
12 looks like he is about to say something, but it's got half the piece of paper in its mouth and it just sort of you can see it almost glitching in panic. But it's 12 looking at you, goes, leave, get out.
I'm just gonna hand my card over and
Get out.
and I'll step through my portal.
Okay, you both step through your portals. What do you do, Friday?
Hang on one hot second, 12. Why are you so eager for me to leave?
You are not. You are part of game.
What are
game,
you
law,
hiding?
game. Are you insight checking this bird?
I'm insight checking the bird.
Okay,
Are you part of
roll
some
me an
criminal
insight
gang
check for
covering
the
up
bird.
organized crime? Is that your game?
Insight check the bird.
That's god awful.
It's a bird.
I told you 12 was the final boss.
Well, I mean, look, you've never necessarily seen a talking bird panic, but I mean, it looks genuine if birds could panic and talk. Get out. You should not stay. No.
Indicator of laws being broken are people wanting the law gone.
Do you pull your leg out of the portal?
I do. I'm gonna brandish a finger at the bird. I'm on to you, 12.
Not me.
Who runs this place?
We're going to pan very briefly away to the other two. So as let's start with I think what Zote. So as you step through, you can feel that rush of cool air, and you look behind you, and for a moment you can see that misty iridescent space where things are scattered and broken still, but you can see it just sort of swirl and shut behind you, and you are left in this clearing alone. You can see that ring of bioluminescent flowers that you know is your gateway, and you have that sweet taste still left in your mouth.
And, well, I will trust that taste and feeling that the augury gave me, and I will head towards the gate that...
And you step through. And that is the last we see of Zote on the Feywild for this adventure. Good luck to whoever comes next, or whoever they encounter next. Fife, you step through, and very similar, you feel that rush of cool air, and as you look behind you, you can see that iridescent space sort of twist closed very gently, and you can find yourself in this peaceful clearing with that willow tree in the center, those little blue lights of its flowers sort of blinking.
I'm just gonna look for my camping, I guess I would say, like a shelter area.
As you step forward to this tree, you can see like the campfire you left and like a little tent. You can see things that are assorted. It's very much like you had left it here, and there's a little bit of dust sort of, or like pollen and dirt kind of brushing over it, but it's one of those things that you must have left behind when the Feywild whisked you off somewhere else, but it stayed here this entire time, and it's the closest thing to a stable home you might consider in the Feywild, and it's all there.
I'm just going to grab a book I have at the campsite and just start sketching pictures of the current constellations that are out right now.
And as you look
trying
up
to collect
the
my thoughts.
sky, you can see the constellations of the Feywild. One in particular you notice this time around is a bird. And as we go back to Friday and you ask who is in charge of the space, 12 opens their mouth to speak. And there is no sound that comes out. 12 is moving its mouth trying to say something, but nothing is coming. And as you look around, you see the iridescent mist that surrounds you in this space turn dark and darker and darker, and a tendril-like black hand reaches up and grabs 12,
Whoa.
snapping its wings to its body.
I attack the tendril.
Roll me an attack roll.
I'm being reckless.
Okay.
Ah. 25.
5. That will hit. Roll me damage. We'll save your. Well, yeah. Well,
It takes
I don't
extra
know what...
fire damage, that's all.
Okay, cool. This tendril cannot be caught on fire, but yeah, it takes damage. And wait, no, wait. Was that D6 for the Noctum table? What was that D6 for?
The D6 was on the main.
Was the fire?
Fire damage, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can slash it through, and you can see like this dark flame kind of wreath around it, but it's almost as if dark flame forms itself again and knits back together, and you hear in the distance that same sort of oh, that would be me, love. And you can feel suddenly the ground beneath you fall, and you suddenly feel yourself plummeting and plummeting and plummeting until you land face first into a patch of dewy grass. And as you kind of look up and you see the mist recede, this black roiling shadow sort of pull back, you hear a voice. I'm not done with you yet. You're the most fun I've had in a while. So let's keep playing, love. See how far you get.
You may think this is a game, but I'm bringing you in.
Great. I'm absolutely dying to meet you. And that is where we're going to end this episode of Downside Up.
Mhm.
Yay! What a fantastic start to the season. Thank you so much, Jake and Taryn, for coming along today.
Thank you.
Before we go around and say goodbye to everyone, let's do some linkity links. We are going to be staying live. We'll be getting ready for Alice's Eberron viewer game next at 9:30 EST, so in about 40 minutes. So please check out our social links. This is I had to do a massive screen reorder to see all these tables. Check out our social links: Discord, Twitter, and YouTube. Discord, come and be a part of the family. Twitter, send me a DM and I'll get you a game. YouTube, you can catch this game and all the others over there. Also, check out our sponsors. The Feyfolio is the work of Mage Hand Press, who also recently released the Dark Matter in hardback, and even more recently became published by Diamond Comic Publishing, which means they're available in your local game store. You can go and request Dark Matter in your local game store. Also check out the Deck of Many, where you can find the Humblewood campaign, which will be featured here tomorrow at 6 p.m. EST, as we'll be playing through the Humblewood campaign. And I actually planned it out. So we should hit all of the talking points of the actual campaign. Also check not published, whatever, distributed, you know what I mean. Also check out Hero Forge, who make minis. They recently had a 6,000% funded Kickstarter. I think it made $3.1 million. Yeah, lots and lots of good stuff there. You'll be seeing more of that on the channel very soon. But if you want to make minis, head over there and make some minis. And I may just make a grayscale Friday for our intro screen next season, next week. Let's go around and say hello to everyone. We'll go the opposite direction this time and end on Mackenzie. So we'll start with Magical Rice Balls. Jake, how was that for you?
It was awesome. I loved it. Mackenzie, you're an awesome DM. Scratticus, you're an awesome host. and Fife, it was fun playing with you. I hope to get into more games with this and maybe other Twitch channels. It was super fun. I'm Magical Rice Ball here on Twitch and on Twitter. And I'm easy to approach if you want to talk to me. Anything. As far as things I have going on this year, I'll be in MomoCon in May, and I'll be at probably Chattanooga Pride in October. So that's it for me.
Awesome. I wish I could see you at either of those. I don't think I'll be around.
We have a little bit of time. Do you want to say what your favorite part was of the?
Yeah, we got time for that. To put you on the spot.
Oh, right.
My favorite part was getting back up and tearing the thing that knocked me down. Honestly, yeah, that felt good.
Pretty epic moment, yeah. Well, thank you very much. Next round we have Indestructiboy. Taryn, how was that for you?
Super fun. Yeah, thank you guys for having me. Mackenzie, I love the quirk, the just everything going on with your NPCs, just like the vibrancy. I love that. Yeah, bravo. Thank you guys for making my first like live stream roleplay session like really fun. Yeah, I and by the way, favorite thing, man, that I love the time and space mechanics you're working on with that dungeon. That's super killer. I always wanted to try and make like time work as a puzzle in a dungeon and see how I could actually reasonably make it like, you know, okay, what's a past part of the dungeon, what's a future part of the dungeon, and just I don't know, concepts and ideas you got going on up here. Zote, yeah, super fun. Jacob, thank you for being a part of this, and yeah, you can go check me out on YouTube at Indestructiboy. I bring on a lot of DMs Guild writers, and I actually got Mike Hollick from Mage Hand Press on there to go and talk about their Alchemist class. So yeah, you can check me out on YouTube, and I write and publish content on the DMs Guild. So yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah, thank you. If you want to publish any of those links in chat, you can, or just chuck them in the Zoom chat and I'll post them across for you.
Oh, killer.
Yeah, let's talk next about Nomadic. Unfortunately, Gnome couldn't be here today, but he will be back next week. You should go and check out his content and check out all of his stuff. He's also a broadcaster and a big face in the TTRPG community, and a very kind face. You should go and give him the love. Give him the loves. And of course, a wonderful DM, Mackenzie.
Oh, hi. Scrat, do you want to say what your favorite part was before I do my little closeout stuff?
Getting to try out this mayhem table. You know? Like, it's not every day you can say, hey, I had a subclass made for me and I got to try it out, and I have no control over it. And that's exactly my kind.
Anything.
Exactly my brand of chaos.
Get to get KO'd by your own rage.
I did. Yeah, I did get KO'd by my own rage. Yeah. It kind of reminded me of the Starlock for a second, you know?
Yeah. I hurt myself to output more damage. Alright, well, I'm excited to see how Friday develops and how this subclass develops as you play her, because the subclass is partially my baby, and I'm super excited. But yeah, you can find me over at Mackenzie Lane Day on Twitter. I will be here DMing every session for the rest of the season. So you can check me out here. I have a couple of other shows coming up, but I can't talk about them yet, so keep an eye out on my Twitter for that. If you like kind of my style of DMing and my style of adventures, you can check out my encounters over on D&D Beyond for the Critical Role Encounters of Wildmount series. You can also check out my work on the DMs Guild. My supplement Numomancy is 6 away from bestseller, which is super exciting. And my favorite part was...
Link us up before you get onto that favorite part. Come on, give us that link. 6.
Okay,
we can get 6. We can get 6 purchases here.
Hold on.
Come on, chat. Pull together.
Okay, well, let me pull it up as I think on my favorite part, because God, it's been so long since it's been a hot minute since I've been in the DM's seat, and I was definitely very concerned about getting back into the swing of things. So getting to play with y'all, man, it just felt good. It felt good to get back into the seat. Hold on, Link's coming up. Link is getting popped in right now. My favorite part though was just how quickly y'all latched on. Was either 12, was either just introducing 12, or the yeah, there's a doll on the corner. Friday, what do you look like?
That was so baffling as well, by the
Yeah,
way. but
that
in the best way. Well, we're gonna put about just over half an hour on the clock, as the next show will start just after past. And we're gonna go get the next show set up. Next up, as I said, is Shards of Siberys, which is gonna be an Eberron viewer game DM'd by Alice. The first time that Alice has run viewer games for the channel since season 1. That's also very exciting. Yes, Argo 37 was the first viewer game Alice ran, and that was also Maychan Press. About 2 or 3 episodes in, we got the sponsorship and we converted everything to their system, and honestly haven't looked back. And Justin's character is still stuck in a time loop somewhere out in space. That is canon. All right, y'all. See you in a few minutes. Bye. Keep evoking emotions. See you later.
Yeah, that's the closeout. Woohoo! That's how we end things.